Well, this topic of strategy is a really big one, and it's a very confused one in many cases in companies as we work with many companies and different organizations. And I think there's always behind anything there's a why and a where and how to it. And as you think about strategy, the why behind it is why are we doing this in the first place? So that we can create value for the company, for our employees, for our customers, for the world. And it's also about enriching life. When we're creating value, we need to be also thinking of how are we making this world better? I mean, and this is being more and more an important part of what business is focusing on. Not just how can we make a bottom line, that's important, we have to have that, but also how are we making this life better for everyone?
It seems so simple.
Yeah.
It seems so simple. It's like, oh yeah, we want to make the world a better place. But is it actually being really carefully and intentionally thought through in the development of our strategies?
Yeah.
And it's really easy to say, yeah, we're going to do that. But at the end of the day, the board, the the financial director or something is like, well, what are our profits? That has to come first. And I understand that. But if we really think about the long game strategies here, we need to be building in how we're changing the conditions of reality and how people are going to be living better lives, which in turn makes our business better.
And one of the things that we're finding is we've been in business for many years, and in these last few years, we're seeing more and more of our companies really considering that whole world of how do we make things better, how do we enrich life. And that's really encouraging to me to see that's starting to happen. But then to do that though, you've got to ask a couple of really important questions. Where do we play and how do we win? And by the way, when we say how do we win, winning is not just about beating the competition or whatever else. How to win means how to win in the hearts and minds of the customers, how to win the hearts and minds and support of your partners and your employees and so forth. That's also winning.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
I think it is really important when you think about winning, because there's a lot of ways to win in anything, right?
Yeah.
You can cheat.
Yeah.
You can technically cheat, but does that really feel good at the end of the day? And I kind of think about like kids playing sports, right? Like their version of winning was how fun it was. It wasn't the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Most kids don't even really keep track of the scoreboard. They're running around and bumping into each other and laughing.
Yeah, there's a technical word for that. It's called playing the infinite game. It's an infinite game. There's no just a score and therefore you're done. You're playing it for the sake of playing it, and that's what an infinite game is. Going back to the question of where you actually play, it's really important you figure that out early on. Where are you going to play? Where's the juicy, fecund area that's going to be great for you in the future? And if you're focusing your strategies on internal initiatives, which too many strategies are in companies, are all about internal initiatives, improve this, cut costs here, do that. They're not really figuring out where the puck is going. And that's absolutely critical. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, I mean, going back to sports for a second, I think when I played high school basketball, and I wasn't particularly fantastic at it, but I had a lot of fun. But it was so important to have the playbooks, right? Which is the long game, where we're going to position ourselves. But you also need the emergent strategies.
Yeah.
And one of the things that a coach would drill on us is creating ball awareness, anticipating where the ball might be, where the players might actually go. And there's no playbook to actually develop that kind of skill set. Mm-hmm. That is a sensitivity that has to be developed, and almost a sixth sense. And
a way to do that in the business world, to create that sixth sense, is continually play in that future. Play with that future. Look at the zeitgeist, the spirit of the times. Figure out where things are moving. What's the big waves that are coming in? You ride the wave of the zeitgeist. What are the big waves coming in that you can ride? Ride, and it's about also you're shaping the future. You're not just pushed into a particular place. You are actually shaping that future by your very actions, each of your choices you're making, and that's what strategy really is choice making. It's a series of choices. And so you're actually shaping the future, and you're looking for those high margin opportunities for sure, and also those opportunities that are going to give you new possibilities you couldn't even dream of today.
Yeah.
And so to do that though, you got to let go of the old, the predictable, the ones that you're so comfortable with. And so you have to put yourself in a discomfort place for sure. And that requires some courage and imagination. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I love the word courage because the etymology, like the Latin term, comes from cor, which is heart. And what do hearts represent? Well, they represent passion, and they also represent love. Like these two wonderful things that makes life so enjoyable, right? And you combine courage with imagination, and which is, imagination is wildly creative, and imagination is envisioning something that isn't there.
Yes.
And you put love and passion and imagining something that isn't quite there yet, and you put those two things together, then all of a sudden you create this wild vision. And what we can start to do with our strategies, I think, is start to see and envision how our customers might love us, and what are the activities and behaviors that we're doing to create that kind of love affair between us and them. And
once we have that picture, then we need to develop the how. How do we go about winning that love, winning their hearts and minds and so forth? And that's going to require new competencies that we just don't have perhaps today. It's we're all talking about the new skills and tasks and so forth of AI and how that's taking over so much and changing things, and 70% of all work tasks are going to be replaced by AI, they say. Well, there's a place for the human too, and in that future. And what that means is we need to see the competencies that are going to help bring out the best in the humans as well, and not just our technologies. And so that's part of the how that I think is going to be critical to the future.
Yeah, I think it's really easy to get so focused on our skill sets. I mean, we look at resumes and it's like a list of skill sets, and we create an identity around our skills, right? Like I am a designer and I design in PowerPoint, or and really what it comes down to is those capabilities. Like I have an ability to look at the world through a different type of lens. I have a way of assimilating information and complexity in a different way. And so therefore the skills can come and go. And as we're seeing in this day and age, like the skills that a lot of people have developed for a long time are going to be obsolete.
Yeah.
So their capabilities is really what they're left with.
Well, the capabilities then add up to what we would call competencies. It creates a full integrated competency level, and that goes beyond just a series of skills or capabilities. It grows into a full-fledged competency, and that's what drives our organizations.
Yeah.
And when you're doing that, as you elevate to that, you're elevating a couple of things. You're elevating the values to the people, and so you're moving up the value pyramid, and the value pyramid goes from meeting specs to doing business well and so forth, to fulfilling things. It's self-actualization, like Maslow. It's self-actualization. It's feeling that positive impact that you're making in life. And the more you can do that through your strategies for the people you serve, the more successful you are. And the second level is, as you do that, you're going to move yourself out of, if you're in a B2B space, for example, out of just being a vendor to being a strategic partner, someone that they rely on to help shape their future as well as your own.
Yeah, and we've seen working with clients, and it's changing right now, which is wonderful. But for a long time, in the B2B space, a lot of companies were saying, "Oh, we don't do the marketing and that design and all that experience stuff. That's for the B2Cs." Yeah. We're in some ways they had a limited identity, just saying that they are just basically order takers. Yeah. And the way the world is moving and shifting is that people want rich experiences. Yeah. People want to be wowed and they want to be dazzled. And so in B2B is just one of the wheels on the bus that makes the bus go round,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a new game being played, and it's constantly shifting in that
And
way.
in that game, you got to know why you're doing this game, where are you going to play, and how you're going to win. And all that adds up to how are we going to create value and enrich life.
Great.
And that's strategy.